I want to start by saying that I think this pastor is very, very shameless. As in, I even wonder those who are members of his church when they sat there listening to him spitting the things he was spitting from his vocal cavity.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he has asked the Defense Department to prepare for a possible fast military action in Nigeria if the West African nation fails to crack down on the killing of Christians. Trump said in a post on Truth Social that U.S. government will also immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation and top oil producer, if the United States sends in military forces. It will go in, he says, guns are blazing to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing horrible atrocities, Trump wrote, without providing any evidence of the specifics about the treatment of Christians in Nigeria. In the meantime, here is one of Nigeria's leading religious leaders, Pastor Wale Adefarasin, the General Overseer of the Guardian Light Assembly, with their headquarters here in Lagos, with an interesting take on the issue of genocide against Christians in Nigeria.
For the over 40 years that I have been a Christian, there have been killings in southern Kaduna, killings on the plateau. There have been riots. Sometimes, I think it was in France, an image of Prophet Muhammad was defaced. Who remembers that? And as a result of that, there were killings of Christians in Nigeria. And so it's nothing new. It doesn't amount to genocide. The way the West are talking about it, it's as if a Christian steps on the street, his head will be blown off. And I'm trying to understand this sudden love for Christians. Is it because we now have one of the largest refineries in the world and no longer have to ship raw materials abroad and bring the finished products? Or is it because of the 21st century minerals that we now have in our earth that they use to generate nuclear power for electric vehicles? Are those the reasons that our friends are threatening to invade our country to defend and protect Nigerian Christians? Selah.
But anyway, we are very respectful people here. The way he talks about the sudden love for Nigeria and looking at the US as a whole with respect to this particular situation of what is happening. Indeed, of course, he starts by saying that it is not something new. It's something that has been happening for over 40 years. Interesting. If he had sat down to look at the data with respect to how this has been on the increase up until now, that this year is reported to be, I wish that particular figure is actually exaggerated, 7,000, over 7,000 killed in, not 700,000 killed in Nigeria, well targeted. And saying that, although not making a statement but asking a rhetorical question, what if this is about the oil? And what if it's about the natural resources? Listen, my dear friend, I'm going to play a video right here for you to see if you are a member of his church, because for him to even be speaking contrary to what the PFN, which he should be part of, or would I say his church and his community should be part of, that's why I respect the comment by Pastor EA Adeboye.
I have been quite a bit of pressure on me to say something about what is going on in the country and in the world vis-a-vis the statement credited to the President of the United States of America concerning the issue of genocide or no genocide in Nigeria. I am not speaking to the world. I am not speaking even to the Christian body. Why? Because I'm a man under authority. I've told you that a long, long time ago. In Nigeria, there is what is called the Christian Association of Nigeria. And we have a president of the Christian Association of Nigeria. And we are under his authority.
When he said that he stands by and follows the voice of the PFN as he's not the PFN president, even though when he speaks, his voice can be, or whatever he thinks might be taken for the position, if I'm to say, or of a more acceptable view of what is happening in Nigeria. He gave that particular respect that is the PFN president that would speak in that particular regard. But of course, the reaction of the PFN president, I'm going to read that as well to you, but it just happens to be that one person that spoke out earlier was Pastor Wale Adefaresen. Quite interesting. I have no issue with his person. As you can see, he's a grey hair man. He's been in Nigeria long before I was even born. And this video is not in any way to insult him or to call him names, not at all. I just see it to be a very shameless comment as well to make.
I want us to talk. Amen. And the theme I want us to discuss is this: Nigeria and Christianity. Okay? We have at least 40 million Nigerians that call themselves Christians. Could be 50, could be 60, could be more. And if we have so many Christians in Nigeria, why is our nation like this? Why do we have phenomenal levels of corruption? Why, with all the resources we have been blessed with, is development so hard for us? I want us, and I want you, and I'm stationing a few people with microphones. Sister Nkem has been putting up her hand. Let me quickly go to her.
His Excellency said actually what I wanted to say, that when good men keep quiet, evil thrives. And you can imagine if all of us will have one voice and stick to it and speak the right thing. But today there's a lot of relativity. You will say it's A, another Christian will come and put it as B. Another one will judge the B and say it's C. There is a lot of gray corners in what we believe and so many things that we teach today. Let's have one voice and let good men speak out.
Amen. You know, when you go over the history of our nation, you find that it was people like Gani Fahimi, a Muslim, that was always courageous to speak out. People like Bek or Kuti. These were not Christians. Where are the Christians? Okay, where are the Christians being able to speak out? I want to go. Okay, yes, I asked to give.
And what is used as the alibi, what is used as the reason for that would be looking at resources. Interesting. And how is resources compared to, would I say, human life, that people are dying every day? These things we talk about are things we come to meet. We came to meet in this world and we will die without any of them going with us. And when we look at the resources that Nigeria itself has, how much of it is of a benefit to the populace? Yet the government is looking for more ways to even tax you of the money that you have yourself. Yet the resources itself, how does it go around the country? I'm going to play a couple of videos for you. Yes, when he talks about resources, indeed, up north as well, there are some minerals that some of us may not even know about. Let me play a couple of videos for you that will open your eyes to some things that are happening over there in the north that you don't even see discussed in the country on a national scale. All we talk about is oil, but do you know Nigeria has lithium and other rare earth minerals that even the Chinese, come closer, the Chinese has been infiltrating the country and conducting illegal mining in the country. Most of them, some of them probably legally, and they have been taking these same minerals away from Nigeria.
My partner, Mr. Jack, and myself, together with the driver, we are coming out from a mining site where we purchased 6% grade lithium kunzite, and it was a successful trip. But guys, it's not easy. Just check out the road and look at where we're coming from. So the struggle is real and we are genuine and prosperous. Thank you guys. See you again. This is what we call glass kunzite. Check it out, the kind of qualities we produce and we supply to our customers. It reads between 5 to 6%. If you're interested, contact us and let's discuss.
Wannan zinc ne wannan. Zinc. Zinc. Wannan zinc ne Muhammad Khalid. Yau mana 2 October. Goma ga wata 2023. Wannan zinc.
Nan let ne.
Nan kuma kwalli ne.
Kwalli ne.
Nan kwalli ne.
Gashi. Bole.
Yau muna 2 October 10, 2023.
This is lead ore, another valuable minerals here in Nigeria. Available in 55 to 60% grade within Wasa local government and Bauchi state. If you find this interested and want to learn more on how to access this mineral in terms of trade, in terms of mining, or in terms of skills, please contact us and we will guide you to the right path. This is iridium mineral, one of the most expensive mineral ore in Nigeria. Indeed, Nigeria is blessed. Hello guys, do you even know the financial cost of this iridium? If you don't know, Google, find out, let me know, and meet me in the comment section. Hello everyone, I have a simple question. Mining is not an easy task. There are a lot of challenges and there are a lot of opportunities. If you are a miner and you have watched this video, tell me, what is your most challenging experience in mining? Let's meet in the comment section. Thank you. Hello everyone, I have a simple question. Mining.
Yo, Malam Abdul ga bidiyo din nan sun ga gara mu gani ba kayayyakin nan. So ga sunan ina bidiyo gani. Na gani. Jamilu. Wannan shine wanda kake magana zo gani.
You know, our bike spoiled in the bush. So these are some kind of hazards that we face. So imagine stranded in a bush like this. And you don't know what might happen. And this is, it can be terrible. But we seek God's intervention. And at the same time, when we are in the bush like this, we tend to be real men, ready for whatever challenge that might come, even though we don't expect it and we don't hope for it, but we should be up and ready for whatever. Ready for whatever. There's a wild, wild world. You don't want to be here. Honestly, you don't want to be here. But we're here already. So, it happens. Thank God. Okay. I am presently in Kafanchan, and these are the materials you can see deposited based on demand. And these are high-grade materials from 5 to 6%. I'm just trying to show you all so that you can see what we are having. Yeah. All right. See you again. Thank you. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum mai gida Abdullahi, na gajiya ya gida. Yau 11 ga watan 6 karfe 2:05. Ga site da nake gaya ma na Sportman. So kaga kayan dama ce ma akwai one truck a ƙasa. Kayan ne nan kuma shine haccan site din ne haccan. Biya masa ga can. Site din ne haccan. So gani da mai kayan mun zo site din yanzu haka. Wannan duka bent din kayan ne wanda in za a yi aiki duk week za a yi ma 2 trucks.
Now this is a video.
Video.
Kefi. This is Mr. Hassan Jackie.
Yes.
My partner and a very good friend and a brother.
Yes.
Here in Kefi.
To business together.
For a business, for a greater future.
Yes, yes. For future. For our future.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now this is a video.
Video.
Kefi. This is Mr. Yeah, once again, if you're interested in 5% kunzite, genuine, here is an analysis and we have it available. If you're interested and genuinely serious, please contact us. Let us discuss. The major problem that people buying this mining material are facing is the issue of quality. You'll see that agents will give quality result analysis that it's given maybe 5% or 6%, but after they supply the product, the buyer will do a random sample, but the result may turn out from 5%, it may turn out to become 2% or 3% or 1%. Now, basically, this is an issue where the agents and the real sellers are not doing a good sorting. So if you really want to be successful in mining, you need to make sure that you are sorting your material to high standard. If your product is 3%, sort it to 3% so that when you sell it to the buyer will be happy and you will be happy as well.
Now listen, if you look at the ranking of the countries that have the most amounts of natural resources, America, Russia, China fall in between the first 10. They have abundance of these resources and they understand the power of it and how of importance these resources are in their countries. China, I'm talking to you as someone who is living hosted by the country I'm discussing about now. So I might get in trouble, but I have to tell you the truth.
To give you more brief. In fact, what is happening or what subsequently happened in that part of the country was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on. Chief of Committee Chairman of Defense Staff, tell the defense I said so. That some retired military officers, army officers are involved in it. The day we can't tell the truth, this country cannot flourish. We can't change our, when it affects our people, we are at our best. We talk strong. Some other people appear to be above the law. That is what is going on with solid mineral. It is not that we don't know where it is. We have a whole survey of where we have what across the length and breadth of Nigeria. We also know, everybody complaining about certain people from certain nationalities. How they got here, even as we are talking now, they are doing those illegal mining. And those guys are getting richer when Nigeria State is getting poorer. But we carry the consequences of banditry, kidnapping, and that which these on illegal armed men, which they equip. Sir, who can afford to buy a chopper to land in an illegal mining site, cut away gold, return to sanity, and then on the way to airport, bam, take them out of the country. This is happening. So I agree with you, but my position is that we shouldn't, as senators, be lamenting. As senators, we should fix the problem. We should tell the executive, you must deploy exactly the same force that you deploy against illegal oil bunkering. That same force should be deployed.
China is the world's manufacturer today, using the same minerals that they have, of course, in abundance, rare earth minerals. And they are manufacturing the phones you're using. They are manufacturing the bulb you have in your home. Almost at least 5 or 6 things you have in your house now. If you look at where it is made from, it is made from China, because they are able to harness their resources. They were able to close their country for a period to be able to harness themselves, whether it is through intellectual property theft with respect to, copying the West that came here or have factories to really do their own, or other ways which I won't go into. But to be able to harness themselves to be productive and producing for the world. And because they understand the value of these rare earth minerals, they will leave their home country, come to Africa, for we who don't even know what value they are for, and they'll be taking it from us illegally, or would I say legally, and they'll be leaving the country because they have use for it, and tomorrow you will buy products from them because you don't even know what to do with those rare earth minerals. And that's where Africa becomes very deficient. Our educational talents are leaving the country and becoming oga pata in other countries and adding value to other economies. Yet still we cannot really use talents in our own country to be of value to ourselves. No wonder we are exporting raw minerals and then buying finished products even at a 10x markup price point. So he gets to make sense to a great extent at some point. But when you are speaking as a Christian leader, when you are speaking as someone who cares for the flock, what is the value of quote unquote resources to you when you are looking at the lives of people who proclaim the faith and are being massacred, are being targeted because of what they believe in? Now, I've told you as well here, as we have been discussing about this on a series, there are different facets to look at this, but in the sense of there being a Christian genocide happening in Nigeria, that is happening to a great extent. Yes, it is happening. So for you as a preacher to be saying that it has not amounted to that, wait a minute. Shoot here. Like, how do you even come up with that particular ideology? And yet you are someone that is a seasoned preacher. Oh, your church is over there. Why don't you state on your church over there in the north? Probably by now they would have wole you. You will know whether it is targeted or not, because probably you don't feel the pain. Oh yes, you know the news. So I saw that particular comment to be very shameless. But all the same, what would I say? All due respect, sir. I salute. What did the PFN have to say about this? Let's look at that together. The PFN, in their reaction to this, because for the PFN to actually label it and say that indeed there's a Christian genocide happening in Nigeria, the Islamic community, of course, said, no, it is not. It is more like a mere clash. Let's look at what the news as well has to say. You're welcome. And this is on Vanguard. The PFN president, and this is the title of this right here. It says here, there is Christian genocide, PFN insists. Its security challenges, Islamic Council says. Let's see here. This is the PFN Oga Patapata, Bishop Wale. I salute you, sir. The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria has insisted that there is Christian genocide in the country, describing that denial as desecration. Moving on as well here, it says the PFN president, Bishop Francis Oke, stayed in Ibadan, adding that the scale and persistence of attacks on Christians in several parts of northern Nigeria could no longer be debated. However, the Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, NSCIA, rejected the Christian genocide claims. Why are you rejecting the Christian genocide claims as if the blame is on you? Except you know that those who are committing these particular crimes are committing it in the name of the faith that you profess, Islam. Because if the people themselves who are committing these crimes are not doing it in the name of Islam or are non-Muslim themselves, what is your business in the conversation? That means you are coming to, would I say, defend the faith. And you know, of course, that there are people who are called quote-unquote Muslim jihadists, or would I say the Boko Haram themselves identify themselves to be Muslim. So I see where they get to come in right here. But can you sit down and call out your community of those who are themselves extremists? I don't get to see that a lot in Africa, but I saw this video on Instagram that actually was quite interesting. Please watch it.
Muslims are very expressive people. At the wake of the Donald Trump's intervention and threats, they protested in the north. Now, the Israel-Hamas war, they protested in the north. The Ukraine-Russia war, they protested in the north. How come those ones that does not concern them directly, they are ready to lend their voices, but the one that affects them, I've not heard a single word, no protest. If this banditry is also affecting moderate Muslims, why are they not protesting? Why are we not hearing anything? Why are they not also advocating or speaking out that there is a genocide against them, that their mosques are being burnt? Why? So let's even assume they are very selfless. They don't care about what happens to them, but they only advocate for other people. Why are they not advocating for Christians that are being killed, for churches that are being burned? I really want to understand why.
You can think about that yourself. According to the council, the situation on ground was security challenge and not a religious war, describing the claims as false, politically driven, and a threat to national unity. No one even talked about a religious war here, like every Muslim is seeing Christians and looking for them to kill. No, these are people that they have an agenda and they have defined why they exist. The ISWAP, the Boko Haram, the Fulani militia, bandits themselves, even what the Sokoto, oh my God.
The statement by the National Council of Islamic Affairs, headed by the Sultan of Sokoto, is a shame and a disgrace to Nigeria.
That's why
you cannot tell me that because of climate change, you have the audacity to go about killing people and chasing people away from their ancestral homes. If this government is ready to fight these people, by now, they should have started relocating people back to their ancestral homes.
Okay. Speaking to journalists in Ibadan, Oyo State, the PFM President Bishop Oke said, "Where is Leah Sharibu? What happened to Chibok girls? Chibok is predominantly a Christian community in Borno State. What is going on in Benue State? Since Donald Trump cried foul against Nigeria on matter of genocide, many people are being killed in Plateau State." The bishop noted that the United States President Donald Trump's concern reflects a reality that many Nigerians are witnessing. And then we have a pastor who came out and said that it has not amounted to being called genocide. And what he's using as a defense is oil. Even from the tweet of Trump, was it more like if he is coming or if US is coming to come and deal with what is happening, the problem is solved, which is terrorism or genocide? Is that a war declared on Nigeria as a country, like Nigeria has done something? It was Nigerians, it was a bishop that went to the US as well to go and complain about what is happening in his state, and there being targeted attacks, of course, in his own community and people dying. Was there any Muslim that went to the US to go and complain about there being targeted killings on them? Have we been hearing the voice of this Oga pastor that came out and opened his vocal cavity to say whatever, when Bishop or when Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo has been crying from the north as well here and speaking? Indeed as well, what kind of pastors do we have? That was quite concerning. But he went on to say here, we are not accusing Muslims, get me clear. We have been living together for ages with mutual respect and harmony. It is a violent sect of Islam that is called Boko Haram, ISWAP, and co. that use the name of Islam to attack churches. Hundreds of churches had been burnt down. Tens of thousands of Christians had been massacred. Hundreds of pastors had been butchered. It would be desecration to the blood of these Nigerians to call it any other name. There is no single instance of Christian group. There is no single instance of a Christian group attacking the Muslims. It is always the other way around. What about the kidnapping of our girls? And they would marry them off without the consent of their parents, which is going on rampantly in the north. Now, when Donald Trump said there is a genocide against the church and Christians in Nigeria, some people are complaining. There is nothing to complain about. A pastor, in fact, PFM, people should call that pastor to order, who spoke before even the PFM president spoke, to ask him serious questions. Oga, are you a pastor over the resources of Nigeria? Are you a pastor over a people that hold on to the faith in Jesus Christ and profess him every day and night? What are you a pastor over? A political pastor? A government pastor? Or a resources pastor? A lot of things are going on in Nigeria, but there are some things that when you speak in your capacity as a pastor, people will just wonder like this. That I may know him, that I may know the resources in Nigeria. Indeed, Have you really died to self? That was quite disheartening, I would say. We should properly identify the malice so we can deal with it effectively. You don't call cancer a headache. There is something that is consuming our country and is giving us a bad name all over the world, and the patience of the church is being stretched. The bishop recounted that numerous unresolved attacks, ranging from killings in Benue and Plateau, violence in southern Kaduna, and the Owo Church massacre, point to a consistent pattern of violence directed at Christian communities. And Adefara Sen, with all due respect, okay said, to every honest Nigerian, there is no controversy about whether there is a genocide against the church and Christians in Nigeria. Hundreds of churches have been burned, tens of thousands of Christians massacred, and hundreds of pastors butchered. What about Taraba? What about the southern Canada? Thank God for the new governor. There is predominantly Christian sections. These are predominantly Christian sections of Nigeria. What about the Owo massacre? Who are the killers? In those cases, there was not a single case of a Christian rising up to kill a Muslim. No. There is no controversy about whether there is a genocide against the church and the Christians in Nigeria. I won't even want to talk about the Islamic community and them attacking Trump or whatever. Because in the end, I'll just wonder to myself, if you care about the killings and what you call them as well to just be insecurity or something, why don't we face the problem? In this case now, brotherhood is more important than dealing with the problem and exterminating it, of course, away. So because probably you share the same faith with these people, or probably you are a sympathizer, like, waiting to the column again, Sheikh Gumi, you will now be the one to be doing, to be dancing like Isiake. Them attacking Trump as well here, they say that meanwhile addressing journalists in Abuja, the Northern Supreme Council of the Islamic Affairs, NSCIA, rejected allegations by the United States and some Western organizations that Christians are being subjected to genocide in Nigeria. How is that your business if you think Christians are not being subjected? Except, of course, you see it to be that it has something to do with what you represent as a Council of Islamic Affairs, because those who are doing this are doing it in the name of the faith. Why don't you also blot them out and denounce them? The Council of Secretary General Prof. Sheikh Olayede said the council stands followed an expanded meeting of its General Purpose Committee, which reviewed recent security and diplomatic development affecting the country. He explained that the NSCIA, which represents all Islamic organizations in Nigeria, had resolved to condemn recent threats to the nation's stability and reject any attempt by foreign powers to portray the country's complex security challenges as a religious conflict. We have not been emphasizing the killings of Muslims, not because you are not aware that Muslims are being killed, but because you do not see what is happening as a religious war. And who has even said it's a religious war? If Trump is saying that Christians are being targeted and then killed by terrorists, and he's coming for the terrorists, are you a terrorist sympathizer? Or you care about the faith that the terrorists themselves are of? You are concerned because of what they themselves profess or what they carry on their head. I guess that's the situation here. So probably it brings a bad name on the faith. Is that what I'm saying? This is a national security issue, not a religious one, the professor stated. Interesting, he's even a professor. It is unfortunate that the US President Donald Trump and some of his associates have been misled to label our country a place of religious genocide. No, it's a country of particular concern because of what is happening to Christians, I would say. Such language is dangerous, unfair, and undermines the effort of sovereign nations fighting terrorism. This is not a holy war, it's crisis of survival. A desperate migration of people driven by environmental collapse, poverty. Migration of people, you want to talk about is climate change again? Are you serious? Driven by environmental collapse, poverty, and criminal opportunism. The NSCIA further accused foreign-backed lobbyists and separatist sympathizers abroad of exploiting Nigeria's insecurity for political and financial gain. When it was happening during Jonathan's time, it was not for this particular reason. Interesting. Anyway, it's a Muslim plus implicate. So, president is a Muslim, vice is Muslim. So, anything that will happen, of course, at least it plays to the tally, to the music of the government. They quoted the fabricated figures of Christian deaths and spread religious persecution claims to secure asylum funding and attention. This is betrayal of our nation, Olayede alleged. Interesting, I would say. So, looking at this news here, I find it quite appalling that even the Christian community cannot even speak in one voice. Some people are speaking and going here. Some are speaking and going here. Anyway, everybody has their pulpit. So you come on your pulpit and say whatever you want to say. Your followers will look at you and say, yes, sir, because everybody says, sir, my pastor's brain is my brain. When you are going to church, you keep your brain at home and go there. The thing is that it's because we are not the one experiencing this. I don't know if you are getting it. You are not experiencing this firsthand. You have not seen this happen to someone that you know. There are people that have grown up in the south there. There are people that came from the north. Those who really understand what is happening are those who are living at the epic center of where this is happening. Not when you are there and air condition is beating your head and fanning you every day. You think you understand what is really happening in the country. I am far away. I've never been to the north, of course, before for anything. But when I look at what is happening, I can connect the dots and feel the pain of what these people themselves are feeling. And when they speak, you can even hear, you can see the emotions in their voice. You can see the pain in their voice when they speak. Families wiped out like as if it's nothing. Over what? Over what? And we are looking at dealing with the problem itself. And what you are thinking about is what is underneath this earth. Something we came to meet. Amazing, of course. But how has the things that we have right now, how have we really enjoyed it as a nation? If not for nepotism and even the politicians themselves, they lead stealing and looting every day. The minerals that are leaving Nigeria almost every day from the north there. How are they being accounted for? Are they even discussed in the National Assembly? When Oshomole came out and said what he was saying, that's why I tell you, listen to the voice of people who are in the helms of affairs. There are things they know that you don't know. Oshomole used to be a governor. He's even there at the helms of affairs in the Senate there. When he's speaking like that, you ask yourself, where does he get this particular information? Because they know what is happening. There are elites that cover these foreigners who come in, who know the value of your minerals, and they're taking it away. The videos are...
Taking Nigeria's natural resources and going with it to their country. Listen to what
basically, we arrested some illegal miners, some Chinese national. We got some credible intelligence, and then we've been on surveillance for a while, and then we were able to move in, and then we have them with us. And we are ensuring that the due processes of the law is followed by creation of law, so we follow strictly the law. Recall last week, the acting chairman was talking about the dangers of illegal mining in one of the trainings that we had, and you see, this is exactly what it is. There are 13 in number, a female and 12 male. They were arrested, like I said, for illegal mining. And they were mining in areas where they didn't have license to. And they were also into mining stones for quarry. They also breached the provisions of the Money Laundering Act. They don't have a SCUMO certificate. They're not registered with SCUMO. They don't pay royalty. There's no evidence of payment of royalty. Other issues are also being handled by immigration, a sister agency, so we're collaborating. There are certain things that are expected to have met in terms of the law before coming into the country. Of the 13 we arrested, only 5 have their passports. The other remaining of them don't have passports with them. But we're also bringing the immigration to look at that aspect. Nigeria is the only country that we have, so we must protect everything that we have. Illegal mining comes with so much danger. You know, there's the part of insecurity that this could lead to, especially in states like this. We see what is happening in Zamfara and other places, in Nasarawa and the other places. So we're trying to also see EFCC how we can give our best to ensure that that sector is sanitized so that legal miners only can take over the minings in this country.
Minerals, and they're taking it away. The videos I'm playing for you, are they from the moon? They post the videos themselves, but we don't pay attention to these things. Everybody's talking about oil today, oil tomorrow. Do you know the amount of minerals Nigeria has? Yes, Nigeria has those minerals, but now we are talking about people's lives. Because if those people are able to be displaced for whatever reason, if they are able to be taken away from their ancestral homes and now using IDP camps to be where they now call home, Oga sir, Oga madam, you dey go, you dey abroad, you dey where you dey. You know they miss your village. If you dey where you dey now, you hear say your village, maybe say you been to go when you dey small, your root where you dey. That place don't exist again. I'm more think am now. As I this one now, I get land from my papa village. So anyway, where I did, I know if Agaraja must come back. So you may not understand these things because you are not there. But at least what you can do is just speak as someone that is really concerned. Can say, are they coming for resources? Are they coming? Resources will be say you don't date since and they have been stealing and exploiting it since. The videos I'm posting for you since 2022, 2021.
The whitish rock these men are chipping away at is lithium. Hour after hour, they break pieces off the wall using hammers and chisels, usually filling 3 sacks a day to net around $100, more than double Nigeria's minimum wage. On a nearby main road, vendors then sort the lithium by quality to sell to informal networks.
Everybody, children and women are benefiting.
The critical metal used in mobile phones and electric batteries has been referred to as white gold for its use in the green energy transition. For resource-rich Nigeria, recent growth in demand has led to a lithium boom. However, it has come at a cost. Mines are often artisanal and illegal without respecting environmental guidelines, and many children are put to work by struggling families. Nigeria is seeking to expand its foreign investment, and multiple Chinese companies have already set up local plants to transform raw rock. However, experts stress the need for more exploration and regulation before outside parties move in.
Commonly known that a more elaborate exploration work has not been done. Number 2, the technology deployed in mining has to be well monitored so that it will be sustainable and smart mining that will be deployed in dealing with the environment.
Last year, the Nigerian government began a crackdown on illegal mining operations, arresting multiple Chinese nationals.
And these minings are going on there. Do you see it being, how many, do you see when they're talking about Nigeria, do you see them talking about the lithium, the rare earth minerals, do you see it being discussed about? What is found in the north belongs to those in the north. However, they get to conjure it away, you don't know. At the vex. See you in the next video. Udode.